What is up, everyone? I am so excited for today's Client Spotlight series because I have my client Aileen here who's going to be sharing with you the three upgrades that she made to her content to have a 100% conversion rate to clients from her posts. And what I mean by that is she made a post and he converted to a client, then she made another post and he converted to a client, and then she made another post and he converted to a client. She's going to talk about what she did in order to have those upgrades that just attracted the right people. And she's just going to tell you also all the mindset insights that she had around charging more and how she was feeling about success, feeling like she was a little bit afraid of success. And we're going to talk about all these amazing things that are going to be so helpful. So, Aileen, welcome. I'm so excited you're here. Please share with everyone who you are and what you do.
Amazing. Thank you, Juliana. So, I am a doctor turned online coach, and I work with women to get them out of the yo yo diet cycle, and I help them lose weight sustainably while increasing their energy and maximizing their confidence without any restriction.
So good. And by the way, before this call, she was like, wait, I don't even know what my thing is. And I'm like, yeah, exactly, because you don't need the thing to make a fuck ton of money. So this happens all the time when I do these interviews. People are like, wait, what's my help statement? And I'm like, it's proof that we don't need it in order to make money. Okay, so let's dive right in. We're going to talk about these upgrades, but so that you're a doctor, so that people understand a little bit of your background, where were you at in your business? Had you been writing content? Were you an expert writing content? Like, because these wins are like so flashy, like you made all this money, but a lot of the times people have had a lot of experience writing content, or they're copywriters, or they have where were you at in your business, in terms of your revenue or in terms of your marketing, so that people get an idea where you were at?
Cool. So, I'd had my business for some time, and I'd had initial fast success that I couldn't sustain, and it was not fun. Like
Mm-hmm.
this time last year, I was trying to grow and scale a business and bring salespeople in.
Oh,
And that did not work, to the point where I was like, do I go back to the hospital? Like, do I go and work for somebody else? This just isn't sustainable. I'm not loving it.
mm.
I'm not enjoying it. And when I enrolled in Magnetize, I hadn't written a single piece of content this year. I was like, no, like I just detested writing content. I didn't know how to communicate what I did when I tried. It was just like crickets, to the point where I even hated going on Facebook because
Oh,
I knew I was
yeah.
posting stuff and ghosting, and I wasn't getting that return. And I was really at the point where it was the end of the road for me. I was at this dead end and I didn't know what I needed to fix it.
So wild. Okay, so everybody just listen up. She had never written content before, or she had not been doing it consistently, or it sounds like a single post. So this is wild because a lot of people who want to join Magnetize, they're like, I'm not advanced enough, I don't even, whatever. And it's like, you can be super advanced, or you can be kind of like you were not really advanced in terms of writing content. So we take you from green to pro, basically. So let's talk a little bit about what inspired you to join Magnetize specifically, and how did you feel about the investment? Because this is a thing that's on people's minds. They don't even get to talk to me, and it's a five-figure investment. How did you feel about it? Let's take people behind the scenes on that.
Mm. So I had followed you for some time, and I actually thought I needed a one-to-one coach. At that point,
Oh,
I was like, I need to work with somebody one-to-one. Like that is what I need. And I'd spoken to a few different people, but I just didn't feel aligned. And the person I was going to be working with, it was them who was taking the sales call. And then I was looking at your content and I saw you were doing the 5 day challenge. And I was, oh, what an opportunity. Like Juliana's doing a 5 day challenge. I hadn't realized that you'd done them 3 times a year. I thought it was the first one you'd ever done because it was
uh,
just so well marketed.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I loved it. Like I loved your whole angle. I loved the fact that it was fun. I loved the fact that you focused specifically on messaging, because that was my downfall. If I got on a sales call with somebody or discovery call with somebody, they
Yeah,
were going to enroll,
yeah.
but I couldn't attract the people onto the call.
Uh-huh.
Um, and with regards to the investment, I wasn't concerned about the investment, but I was concerned about am I going to get what I paid for?
Mm,
Because I've been in other masterminds before. I know Permise has said this as well, like other people that sell you one thing and then they give you something totally different.
right.
So when I enrolled, I was like, right, I'm doing this. So I enrolled, I paid in full, I was all in, I showed up, and I was just kind of tentatively waiting the first few weeks, like, is she really gonna do it? Like, is it real? And I remember the first call that we came off of with you, and I went for dinner with my family, and I was like, it was so fucking good. Like, it was just amazing. The coaching in that call was worth the investment itself. Like, I knew immediately after that call that I was safe, that this was the right
Mm,
place for me. But
mhm.
it's interesting that the money wasn't the problem, but I was super skeptical.
Yeah, that is so fascinating. Okay, so you went all in and then you felt safe. And so, what happened when you started going through the modules? What were these three upgrades in terms of content that you made that got you all these clients? You made all this money, you 5x your investment. Okay, what happened? What were the upgrades?
I think the biggest thing with content was having Permise's eyes on my content and having that confidence
Yeah,
to actually put it out there. Because the
yeah.
reason I wasn't putting the content out there is I didn't have the confidence that it was converting. So I was like, why should I waste my time writing these posts when it doesn't do anything anyway?
Right, right.
And there were subtle shifts. Like one of the biggest shifts was empathy,
Yeah,
like being able to really empathize with my clients, but also how do you structure an offer
mhm,
post?
right.
Like the stuff I had been before was like one of these like PS ghost posts, like, DM me if you want to talk about XYZ thing. And that's not how you share an offer. You need to celebrate your offer. You need to, like you say, pretend your offer's on stage and clap for it. Like I have to be my
Yeah,
offer's biggest cheerleader, and
yeah,
I am.
yeah.
So those shifts were absolutely massive for me, being able to take up the space, having the confidence, and really knowing how to structure those posts.
So good. And for everyone who's listening and you have no idea who Parmise is, Parmise is the copy coach that is Monday through to Friday there in the group. In the threads, we have a thread where you drop your content and she gives you feedback. She gives you feedback on your content to make sure that is highly conversion optimized so that it actually converts to clients. And so Aileen came in. She had no idea how to write content. She started writing content. We help her optimize it. Parmise is always there giving you hands-on content. And so it sounds like the first thing is first you learn what a sales post is, like what an offer post is, which is I know it sounds mind blowing to some people or like, oh, I think I'm doing offers. But what I want everyone to know is that an offer is not saying, hey, something inspirational. P.S. If you want to work with me, send me a message. That is not an offer. That is not an offer post. Like there is a way to write content that really entices people to want to reach out to you and to actually be prepared to make a premium investment. And so that is one of the most important things. And it doesn't have to take a long time for you to learn that. Okay, and so let's talk a little bit about what happened when you started getting these people who were reaching out to you and who were saying like, "Hey, I'm curious to work with you." How had that happened before from strangers, and how did you handle that to then invite them to become a client?
Yeah. So it has happened before. And like if I go way back, I've run ads and everything,
Uh huh.
but I've never had discovery calls like the discovery calls I've had in Magnetize. They're fun. The women show up ready. There's no games, there's no playing, there's no scarcity, there's no tactics. It's just genuinely two humans having a conversation.
Yeah.
And it's an automatic enrollment pretty much. But there's such a beautiful conversation. And the clients that are showing up, they're unlike any clients I've ever coached before.
Mm-hmm.
So even the enjoyment of me coaching my clients in fulfillment is a completely different experience. Like I genuinely had no idea that it could be this easy. And I know there'll be people listening to this being super skeptical because that was me. But there is another way to do this. It doesn't have to be hustle, push, grind, tactics, games, scarcity. It doesn't have to be that way. Like you get to just lay it on the table,
Yeah.
and it does magnetize people towards you. Like I remember my first post when I had said that I'd magnetize people towards me, and I was just like, did this really happen? It was so cool. So cool.
You're like, this actually works. Holy shit, wait, what? People are coming? I know. And I love that you're saying that, because I say it all the time, but people, they don't believe me sometimes, because it's like, well, you're the one selling it. So of course you're gonna say that. So I love that they hear it from other people who have experienced it. So that's great. And okay, so the soulful sales process, I think, is what you really are referring to. The way that I teach sales, I give you guys the script, I give you guys the process, but it's not really a script. It's like, it's just a way to go about your sales call, just for anyone who's listening. And it really just supports people in just making a really powerful decision, and you don't have to drag them along. It's just, you empower them. You empower them for them to see their limitations, and for you to hold space. And whether they're a yes or a no, they walk away feeling really held and really seen in whatever it is that they feel like was coming up for them. And a lot of the time, and most of the times, you just conversing to clients, so it feels really good. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about anything else that this is the success piece, because I know that, we were talking, you were like, I'm afraid of success. And I think that this is a topic that a lot of people struggle with. It's not like maybe they're fearful of failure, but let's talk a little bit about the fear of success that you experience inside Magnetize.
Yeah. So I hadn't realized that this was a barrier when I first came in. And then it became really clear as time went on that all the questions I brought to coaching with you or with Tivona were based and rooted around the same thing.
Yeah.
And it was
Mm-hmm.
fear of judgment from other people for being successful, like Aileen's change or Aileen this or Aileen that. And I had in my head that when somebody becomes more successful, then they become like a worse off person or a badder
Yeah.
person, or they become unkind or whatever else,
Yeah.
which isn't true, because you're not, like, you're embodying all of those, like, wonderful, like, you're kind, you're fun, you're genuine, you're playful, you're successful. And I had in my head that you couldn't have all of those things. It was like either or.
Uh-huh.
So I feel like I have been subconsciously like limiting myself and sabotaging myself when I get to a certain level, like
Mm-hmm.
pulling myself down.
Yeah.
And it was you guys who almost like, you had this like spotlight on me, like, Aileen, can you see what's going on here? Which is really, really, really interesting. But then also being in the group with other successful women who are actually supporting me and celebrating me genuinely, not just saying it, like they are genuine.
Yeah.
That is just, it absolutely blows my brain. I've never had that level of support ever. Like I
Mhm.
would have paid to be magnetized just for that.
Oh,
It's the women in there are so special. I've made friendships that I will have for the rest of my life.
oh, and they're right here
So
in the
good.
comments saying hi. Rachel's
Are
here.
they?
Julia's here. Yes, they're all like hi. So
So
good.
good.
Yeah. So, what does it feel like to be coached? So, inside of the Magnetize and Monetize Mastermind, like, what does it feel like to be coached by Juliana, by the coaches, to be surrounded by the community? Like, what is that experience like? Because there are so many masterminds in the world, marketing masterminds. There are so many. And I think it's important that there's transparency about what does it actually feel like to be inside of this container, particularly for anyone who's really craving to join.
Yeah, yeah. Like I've done 3 different masterminds before, and a couple of them were more expensive than what I've paid to be in Magnetize. And I thought when I joined those, like, this is the real deal. I'm going to get all of the things I need. And this is absolutely the pinnacle one. Absolutely. Like you could charge 3, 4 times the price for Magnetize. Like absolutely. People get the value from being in here, but the most important bit, the bit that sets things aside so much, is you over deliver. Like you say, you're going to get all these things, and you get all these things plus more.
Mm-hmm.
But the other bit is the safety. There's so much safety. There's no question that's wrong or bad
Mm.
or not available for coaching. Like I brought all my shit to the table and a little bit more, and I was just like so open to being coached, whereas I probably would have stood at the back before and listened to what other people were saying. So I had to ask myself, what's different about me here? And it's because I feel safe. It's because I don't feel judged. It's because I feel encouraged. I feel supported. And I see other women kind of coming off the back of that and then bringing their questions to the table, and I'm celebrating them for doing that.
Yeah.
So it's like we don't get to grow in the comfort zone. We grow when we're uncomfortable. We need to bring things to the table, and we need to allow ourselves to be vulnerable, but it's safe.
Yeah.
And like the growth is phenomenal. But yeah, there's been many a call where I'm like, oh, I'm sweating, I need to take my jumper off. This is just so much. But that is because I'm growing.
Yeah, it's so good. Oh, and you're just such a delight to work with. I mean, every single person in the room is just always so beautiful and divine, and it's just soul aligned. And so anyone who's watching this, just know that if you're feeling the pull to be in a container like this, like follow it, trust yourself. Trust yourself. It's only gonna be better than you imagine, really. If you come and get the value, if you come and just raise your hand and get coached, you're gonna get a transformation. Okay, so one thing that I want to ask you, last thing, before we one last thing I want to ask you is, side note, you decided to go into Momentum Mastermind, so which is the next level after Magnetize. And everybody doesn't need to know the details of what Momentum Mastermind is, because it's invite only to people who have graduated from Magnetize and Monetize. But why did you feel the pull to continue receiving support at the highest level in the next level of inside of Momentum?
So there was no question at all as to whether I would continue working with you, Juliana. Like there was just like absolutely no hesitation. But the bit that I struggled with, again, it was the success piece. It was that, is it okay for me to be successful? But I'm a really firm believer that if you want something, you find somebody who has that thing and you pay them and you get them to teach you how to do it.
Yeah.
And you roll your sleeves up each and every week. You get in there with us and you support us through that. So I'm excited to be, I'm nervous to be in Momentum because it's a change.
Yeah.
And there's all these other women that I'm like, oh, they're ahead of me. But then that's just that voice that we all have again. And I've had my first call in Momentum and they're wonderful.
Yeah.
They're lovely. They're kind. They're supportive. They're celebrating each other.
Yeah.
So being part of that, to allow me to grow even further, I'm like what's possible next?
Oh, I love that so much. And for everyone who is listening, and I think the most important thing that we love, that you and I share, Aileen, and a lot of my clients share, is that we love long-term relationships. And I think that a coaching relationship, really, it's not just one cycle, it's so many cycles, because people change. You get new goals, you get new desires, you evolve as a person. And so if it feels right, then it's beautiful to continue that relationship, because we already know each other. I already know your things, your kinks, your limitations, your hidden shadows, and also your strengths. And so it's so much easier to continue that journey. And so for everyone who's watching, just think about that and when you enter a coaching container, really choose to go all in and maintain a relationship, because it only gets better and better. It's like sex. It gets better and better as time goes on,
What a great ending, Juliana.
Okay. All right. So anything else that you want to share with people that are maybe on the fence, that are watching these and they're like, oh, I don't know, what if, that maybe feel a little bit of hesitation? What would you say?
I would say that's what I do as well. That's what I do. I overthink and I overanalyze, and that doesn't move us forward. That's what keeps us stuck. It's an energy leak, isn't it? So, I'd followed you for a year. I could have done this a year ago, but I didn't. And I believe everything comes at the right time. So I'm sure that this has happened for a reason. But I think if people are on the fence, they're never going to get the evidence that they need on the outside. They'll never collate that evidence. Like, what are they waiting? What are they really looking for? Because money can be made, but time can't be made back. So I just like, get the fuck in, come and have a taste, see what it's like. And honestly, like, there hasn't been anybody inside magnetize, it's like, oh, I'm not happy about this, or this bit did, you know, sometimes there's nitpickers, or there isn't any of that. Everybody is like, wow. They just absolutely love it. Everything, everybody, that's you, Tavona, Permise, the community, Charmaine now as well. Like, it's just so good. So good. And I'm legit not just saying that because I wouldn't be on here if I didn't 100% back everything you do.
Oh, I love you so much. I definitely did not pay people to show up here. I don't incentivize someone here. I like literally is out of their desire of their hearts that they want to come on here, like wake up or whatever time do it. So it's like really just because you desire to share, and I appreciate that so much because you're really speaking to the souls and the hearts of all the people who I know are ready for this and who are watching this, and they're like, I know I belong there, I want to be there. And let this be the evidence that this is your time. We're gonna love on you, we're gonna clarify your message, we're gonna help you attract premium clients. It's gonna feel even better than you ever imagined, and there's so much proof. Go and binge on all of the proof available. So go ahead and apply to Magnetize and Monetize Mastermind. I will read your application, and I will make sure that if you're the right fit, I'll give you a full body hell yes in an acceptance email. And if I don't feel like you're the right fit, I'll also let you know in full integrity, I don't think this is the right time, because I only want people who I know are just going to be raving about it. And I want us both to have an amazing experience. And so I'll be very transparent and share with you. And if you're in for the time of your life. So thank you so much, Aileen, for being here. Where can people find you if they want to work with you?
Oh, so people can find me on Instagram, and it's Dr. Aileen, so doctor spelled the full word, DOCTOR, or you can go to draileen.com.
Perfect. Amazing. Well, everyone, thank you so much for watching, and I will be coming at you with more of these amazing stories because the proof is in the pudding at the end of the day. So I love you, Aileen. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye.
Bye-bye.